Hello and welcome to day 5 of your 14-day challenge. Now I know that motivation can start to dip during a challenge like this, so the practice I've created today is really meant to help energize you and spark some motivation. So hopefully after you finish practice and you step off of your mat, you're feeling more energized, you're feeling really good heading into the rest of your day. Let's get started. Let's begin today on hands and knees. Start with a flat back and with your arms straight. Now we're actually going to move mainly just from the shoulder blades. So keep your back flat and keep your arms straight. As you exhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Your chest is going to go down a little bit lower, but your arms will stay straight. And then as you inhale, spread your shoulder blades apart. Your chest will rise back up. Okay, try that again. Exhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Inhale, separate them. Keep going. You'll start to feel the muscles in between your shoulder blades. So specifically, we want to get those upper back muscles warmed up. And that's going to help bring some stability and mobility into your shoulders and upper back. Let's do 3 more rounds. Concentrate on the activation, the squeeze, as well as your breath. 1 more. Okay, and then land somewhere in the middle. So you're not fully drawn apart, nor are you squeezed together with the shoulder blades, but somewhere in the middle where your shoulders and your arms feel quite strong. And we're gonna take this into plank. So keep your shoulders really engaged. Step 1 foot back and then the other. Engage your abdomen and take your chest a little bit forward. Keep your arms super strong and then bring your right knee toward your right arm. Step that back and bring your left knee toward your left arm. Step that back, right knee. Step back, left knee. Step back, 1 more round, right knee. Step back and left knee. Step back, push your hips up and back and move into downward facing dog, just adjusting your hands and your feet as needed to come into a comfortable downward facing dog. And just let yourself move into the pose with some ease, starting to find a nice consistent flow of your breath. From downward dog, lower your knees down and stretch back into child's pose. Continue to breathe slow and steady breaths. From child's pose, bring yourself back onto your hands and knees. This time, bring yourself onto your elbows. Keep your elbows about shoulder distance apart, and you can place your palms together or interlace your fingers together. Engage your arms, your shoulders, tuck your toes under, and lift just like you would for downward dog, but so you're going to be on your forearms. Push through your forearms into the floor, keeping your shoulders nice and strong, and let your tailbone rise up high. Now in this variation, your heels are definitely going to be farther away from the floor than they would in a regular downward dog. So don't worry about how close your heels get to the ground. You'll just gently press down through the heels to add a little extra stretch for your calves. Take a few small steps back with your feet. Bring your shoulders forward and move into a forearm plank, contracting your abdominals in, chest draws forward, arms and shoulders super strong. Hold. Now slowly lift your hips and walk the toes back in, coming back to that forearm variation of downward dog or dolphin pose. Keep pressing through your arms. You might be able to really feel the work through your arms, your shoulders, your upper body, starting to get those muscles warmed up. Let's take it back to forearm plank. Walk your toes back. Lengthen forward, contract your abdomen in, hold. And then this time, do a sweet belly flop down to the floor, just letting your arms separate apart. Prop yourself up on your forearms. Tone your abdomen in and curl your chest up into Sphinx pose. Engage your back muscles and a little core strength to support and lengthen your lower spine. From Sphinx pose, let your chest relax down a bit and slide your hands back so they're underneath your shoulders. You can slide your hands a little further back beside your rib cage. Engage your back and then come back up, this time using more strength from your back muscles and glutes for cobra pose. Draw your shoulder blades closer together, kind of like what we did on hands and knees, engaging those upper back muscles. From cobra pose, lower your chest back down and slowly press yourself to all fours. Once on your hands and knees, sit over onto your right hip, kind of like you're lounging on the mat, and place your right forearm down, stacking your elbow pretty much underneath your shoulder. Extend your legs with your feet stacked. And we're gonna press right from the shoulder blade and those side muscles on the right side to lift the hips off of the ground. So press through your arm, lift your hips up. You'll be in a forearm side plank. We're gonna hold that for about 3 breaths. Nice and strong in that right shoulder. And then exhale down to the floor. Just give that a quick little break. We're gonna lift and hold again. So engage right into that shoulder blade, press through your side, lift. And lower. Let's do that one more time. Give yourself a quick little rest. Set up the stability in your shoulder blade and your arm. Press through your forearm and lift. And lower. From here, you can flip yourself onto your belly, roll over onto your left side, and we'll set up the same forearm variation on the left side. So get your elbow under shoulder, nice and strong through your left shoulder blade, your left side. Press down through your arm, lift. Nice and strong, but you're still breathing, hold. And then lower, just take a little rest. Okay, do that again, press down, lift. And lower, take a little rest. We're gonna do one more round, so just start to set up nice and strong through that shoulder blade, press down, lift, hold. lower down, and you could go back over onto your belly. Slide your hands back into cobra position. Engage your back muscles and curl up into cobra. Hold for a few more breaths, or press through your arms, back muscles strong, glutes engaged, a little bit of core. You're coming up high. And if you'd like to go into upward dog, just lift your knees off of the floor, standing into your palms. And then use your knees to transition back to downward dog from here. All right, your arms and shoulders should be feeling more warmed up at this point. From downward dog, lift up onto your toes and just walk your feet in small steps toward the top end of your mat. Arrive in a forward fold once you get close to the top. Relax your neck and shoulders. It might feel good just to hang your arms right down, or you might hang onto your elbows as you fold forward. And then release your arms and very slowly bring your spine all the way up. Stand up tall at the top of your mat. From your mountain pose, inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale to a flat back, come up halfway. And exhale, plant your palms, step back to plank pose. From plank pose, lower yourself down through chaturanga. You can go down halfway or all the way to the floor. You can use your knees if you like. And then curl up either into cobra pose, or you can lift into upward facing dog. And exhale back to downward dog. And take a few breaths in downward dog. This time from downward dog, you can choose to walk, step, or hop your feet all the way up to the top. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise and reach your arms up. Exhale, mountain pose, release your arms. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back. Lower halfway or all the way down from your knees or toes. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. From downward dog, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise and reach up. Exhale, release your arms. Let's do one more like that. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank, lower down through your chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. In downward dog, raise your right leg up, holding the strength of your arms, your shoulders, a little bit of core, and both legs. From here, bring your right knee toward your nose, shift the weight forward into your hands, and then inhale, raise the leg up. This time we'll bring the foot through, bring your knee toward your nose, look a bit forward, and step all the way up with your right foot to the top. Lower your back knee down onto the floor, bring your torso up, and send your arms up so you're coming into Anjaneyasana, or kneeling lunge. Keep your abdominal muscles toned in as you gradually ease into the lunge position. And then exhale, lower your fingertips down, tuck your back toes under, and raise your back knee, setting your legs up in a really strong lunge position. Get light on your fingertips, engaging the legs even more. Then hover your fingertips off of the floor. Bring your torso to a 45-degree angle and stretch your arms straight back. Draw your front ribs in and lengthen your tailbone toward your back heel. Activate those muscles between the shoulder blades, just like we worked on hands and knees at the beginning. And keep that active as you rise up into high lunge. Stretch your arms up overhead. Press both feet down into the floor, and at the same time, engage the muscles around your hips so your hip joints feel strong and steady. From your high lunge, lean forward once again. Lower your left fingertips down to your mat, or you can grab a block. And as you twist toward the right, send your right arm up toward the ceiling. Keep your legs strong and reach through your arms. Exhale to lower down your right hand. Plant your hands on the mat and step your right foot back into plank. Roll onto the left edge of your left foot. And as you lean over into your left palm, start to form a side plank. You can have your feet separated, so one in front of the other, or you can bring your feet stacked on top of each other, or bring your left knee down onto the floor. And then take your right arm up toward the ceiling. Same muscles on the shoulder blades, nice and strong. And then exhale to plank with control. From plank pose, lower yourself halfway or all the way through chaturanga. Inhale to cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale back to down dog. In downward dog, lift your left leg. Stay strong through your arms, your shoulders, your legs, your core. Bring your left knee toward your nose, shift your weight forward. And then inhale, left leg reaches back up. This time we'll bring it through, knee toward nose, shifting forward. Lift a little, step your left foot up to the top. Lower down your back knee. Bring your torso and your arms up. From kneeling lunge, lower your hands. tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee, and arrange your feet into a really strong lunge position. As your legs get strong, get light on your fingertips, engage your core, hover your fingertips, and bring your torso up to about 45 degrees. Stretch your arms straight back and engage the muscles between your shoulder blades. Tone your front ribs in, keeping a nice balance between core strength and the strength of your back. And then bring your torso all the way up, reach your arms up into high lunge. From high lunge, lengthen forward. Reach your right hand down toward the mat or grab a block. As you twist toward the left, reach your left arm up and twist, extending out through both arms. From the twist, exhale, release your hands down. Plant your palms and send your left foot back into plank pose. Swivel onto the outer edge of your right foot. Set up your side plank on the right side. So remember your variations from the first side. You can stack the feet, you can separate, you can do kneeling side plank. And we're getting really strong right from the right arm, shoulder blade, side muscles, and even from your legs pressing up. Okay, from here, let's take it to plank. Lower yourself through your variation of chaturanga. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale, take it back into your downward dog. From downward dog, come to plank. Right knee toward your nose. Now send your hips up, lift your right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. We'll bring the right leg through, knee toward your nose, lift your hips, step through with your right foot to the top. Take a moment to set up your lunge, and then slowly rise all the way up into high lunge. Reach your arms up over your head. From high lunge, place hands onto hips. Take your weight forward over that front leg, and you might step your back foot a little closer. As you shift your weight forward, raise your left leg up to about hip height. Roll the left hip down to level your pelvis. And engage your back muscles. You might even stretch your arms straight back. Squeeze between the shoulder blades. Slowly begin to stand upright. Bring this left knee up in front of you. Bend your standing leg and cross your left leg over, sitting back into a chair with your hips. You might bring your palms together in front of you, or wrap your left arm under your right to add the eagle arms. As you sit back, just take slow, steady breaths. Slowly unwind your legs, releasing to the mat. Unwind your arms, and just take a big stretch up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. And exhale, fold forward. Plant your palms down. Step back to plank pose from here. In plank pose, take your left knee toward your nose. Lift your hips, send your left leg up and back for three-legged dog. Then let's bring it through, knee toward nose. Step all the way through with your left foot, set up your lunge, and come up slowly into high lunge. From high lunge, place your hands to hips. Step your back foot a little closer and shift your weight forward into your left leg. As you step into that left leg, slowly raise the right leg up and back, lower your right hip slightly, and engage through your back muscles. You might choose to reach your arms straight back, engaging right between the shoulder blades. Slowly bring yourself all the way up. Bring that right knee up in front of you. Bend into your standing leg and wrap the right leg over. Start to sit back into your legs. You could choose to bring your palms together or wrap your right arm under your left to add the eagle arms. Slowly unwind. Release your arms. Take a nice big stretch up. And fold forward, exhale. Take a half lift, inhale, stretching forward. And fold, exhale. Take your feet out a little bit wider than your hips. Turn your feet out slightly and start to lower down into a squat. If you're comfortable going right down into Malasana, you can bring the palms in together. But remember, you can add a block underneath your hips in the squat position to give you a little more support and lift. Once you're feeling really comfortable in the squat, bring your left hand down onto the mat, hug your left knee into your arm, and turn toward the right, stretching your right arm upward. This might feel like plenty, but you can also play around with wrapping your arms around. So you're gonna turn your palms to face behind you, wrap your left arm around the front of the left knee, wrap your right arm behind your back, and just bring your fingertips toward each other. If the fingertips are within reach, you can hook them. If not, just reach your hands in that direction. Release your arms and try out that twist on the other side. Right hand goes down, squeeze your right knee against your arm, and as you turn to the left, reach your left arm up. Or turn the palms to face behind you and wrap your arms around, bringing your hands toward each other. And if you tried the bind and it just didn't quite feel good, play around with extending your arms, rotating into the twist, and keeping your spine lengthened. All right, let's take it into a forward fold next. Lift your hips, walk your feet back into hip distance apart, and then just relax your neck and shoulders. And as you're here, you can bend your knees a bit more, loop your two fingers around your big toes. Inhale, lengthen your back. Exhale, soften and fold. Release your grip. With your knees slightly bent, slowly bring yourself up. From your mountain pose, step your left foot back toward the back end of the mat and just turn to face the left side of your mat. Open your arms up so that you're in 5-pointed star. Then rotate your right toes to face toward the top of your mat. Turn your left foot in slightly, so your hips are going to be a little bit angled here. And then once you have that set up, make sure the stance is long enough that you can go into Warrior Two. So you have enough room to bend into your front knee and relatively stack the knee over the ankle. From Warrior Two, bring your right forearm onto your thigh, or you can grab a block, place your right hand onto a block, and take this left arm up toward the ceiling. Engage your legs and tone in your core. Now, if this still feels pretty good, turn your left palm to face behind you and just tuck your left arm behind your lower back into a little half bind. This will create rotation in the shoulders, so just be mindful of your shoulder as you're going into this. Make sure you're not pushing into the rotation, but just going to a comfortable amount. Now, option to keep your arm where it is, but you can always reach your arm back up at any time. Look downward, bring your torso up a little, and straighten your front leg. You can rest your right hand on your shin, your thigh, or onto a block. And you're either keeping the left arm in a half bind or reaching up toward the ceiling. All right, now slowly untuck that left arm, give it a stretch up. And then as you look down, bend your knee and just slowly rise back up. Let's turn back toward the left side of the mat for 5-pointed star. And then turn your left foot toward the back end of your mat. Right foot turns in slightly, and we'll go into Warrior Two on the left side. Bring your left forearm to your thigh or grab one of your blocks and place your left hand onto the block. Your right arm stretches up. Once you have a strong foundation built with your Warrior Two legs and some core strength, turn your right arm to face behind you and tuck that right arm behind your lower back. Now, option to keep that half bind, look down, bring your torso up a little, and straighten your front leg, adjusting your left hand onto a block or onto your left leg. You can look upward, you can look sideways, or you can look downward. Just find whichever direction is most comfortable for your neck. Slowly untuck your arm, reaching up. And then let's come all the way back up. 5-pointed star from here. And we'll turn toward the top of the mat, step all the way back to your mountain pose. Maybe give your shoulders a roll. Inhale and sweep your arms up overhead. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, step back to plank. Lower yourself down through chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog or cobra. Exhale back to down dog. From down dog, lower your knees down and sit back either onto your heels or onto a block or a pillow just to elevate your hips up a little bit more. Once you're set, bring your right arm up, bend your right elbow so that your hand goes toward the back of your shoulder, And with your left hand, you can either apply a little extra pressure, just helping to lift the elbow toward the ceiling, or you can take this left arm behind your back. If the left arm's behind your back, you'll start to bring your fingertips toward each other. The fingertips might touch, or there might be some space in between. Release your arms and take your left arm up. Bend your elbow. Bring your left hand to the back side of your shoulder, and you choose, you can use your right hand on the elbow or take your right arm behind your back and bring your fingertips toward each other. Release your arms. Lift off of your heels or block and swing your legs around toward the top of the mat. From seated, bring yourself all the way down onto your back. Bend both knees, placing your feet about hip width apart on the mat. Place your hands by hips. And as you press your feet into the ground, engage your glute muscles and lift your hips up. Create length across the front side of the hip, but tone your lower ribs in to add a little core strength to your bridge pose. You can hold like this, or bring your arms a little further underneath you and interlace your fingers together. Slowly lower your hips, relax your legs out into a comfortable position, and just take a rest. Bring your feet back into the same position, and you'll either set up for a second round of bridge, or you can bring your hands up above your shoulders and set up for Urdhva Dhanurasana or wheel pose. Start with your legs, engage your glutes, and lift your hips. You can hold here in bridge. You can even do your bridge with your hands set up in wheel position, or begin to press into your palms and start to lift upward into your wheel pose. Keep your legs nice and strong, that openness across the front of your hips. A little bit of tone from your core. When you're ready, lower down to your mat and relax into a comfortable rest. This time, as you bend your legs, bringing your feet onto the mat, walk your feet out wide toward the edges, let your knees fall inward, and rotate your knees from right to left. It might also feel good to bring your arms into cactus position, just reaching your arms up overhead. Bring your knees back to center, walking your feet in, and hook your right ankle across your left leg. So one variation that you can do here is thread the needle. You can leave your legs like this, or bring your legs toward you and reach through with your arms, and you can hang on with your hands onto that left leg. Another variation
is to do sort of a reclined Gomukhasana. And to set that up, it's really similar to thread the needle, but you're gonna cross the right leg over more. Bring your two knees toward you and bring your hands onto the knees, and you're pulling toward your chest. And you can walk your hands down onto your shins or even reach down toward your ankles or feet. And this gives you some control to angle your shins and your legs and to bring the knees a bit closer or further away from your chest so that you can really pinpoint where you need to feel this in your hip. Gently release down your left foot, keep your legs crossed, wrap this right leg tightly over, and lift and shift your hips a little bit to the right. Twist your knees over to the left. Open your right arm out toward the right and gently rotate into a nice, comfortable reclined twist. You can choose to uncross your legs if you find this to be uncomfortable, and just let yourself ease into it, breathing deeply to help relax your muscles. Slowly twist back to center, unwinding your legs, and take your left ankle across your left thigh, either going into your thread the needle, or cross your left leg over more, bring the knees toward you, and you can take hold of your knees, your shins, or your feet here. Keeping your left leg crossed, lower your right foot, cross the left leg over tightly, and lift and shift your hips to the left. Twist your knees over to the right, and open your left arm out to the left. Twist back to center, unwinding your legs, and stretch all the way out into Shavasana for your final rest. Bring some movement back. And eventually reach your arms all the way overhead into a really nice big stretch. Bend up both knees and slowly roll yourself over onto one side. Bring yourself to seated from there. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope this practice leaves you feeling energized and ready to take on the rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste.